What's the crack? Jesus, I really am becoming an Insta hoe. I'm selling my soul on Instagram and social media. I know, look, I'm just trying to spread information, knowledge, my learnings on Facebook. And then again, to kind of promote the podcast, of any of the stuff that I bang on about here, I might stoke an interest and head over to the Magic Minds podcast. My thoughts today are patterns, identifying patterns in your life. We're easily able to identify patterns in people's behaviours, but sometimes we miss our own. I'll give you an example. Life is in seasons, like a pattern, summer, winter, autumn, whatever. And we can easily identify this, right? Another one to identify would be when we have a hangover, when we go out and have a few fizzy drinks, when we go out and get fucking hammered, we are dying the next day. And we know that's related to the drink. A few days later, you'll be grand. You'll have a few fucking anxious moments, the beer fear, whatever. Sorry, just nearly went fucking bananas. It'll be grand and it'll go in a few days and you'll be sorted. But we don't kind of notice things, in our relationships. We have fears around things in our job, family life. We don't easily identify the patterns, and when we become familiar with these patterns, then the problems don't become exasperated, or we don't lose consciousness in them. We don't fall into the overthinking, the overanalyzing. We just recognize them as patterns. Fear around new relationships was my one. I used to have fear around new relationships, and I'd be nitpicking and judging, and all based around a fear of mine of being abandoned or left, but I would easily blame the other person. And there's plenty more of those, in relationships, whether it be in work or family life. People trigger me, but now I'm identifying the pattern that I'm being triggered, and I don't blame the other person. I identify that's something that just happened to me. I get triggered based on an old story that's been played in my subconscious, and it's just a pattern. And I know that if I don't feed into it, if I don't react to it, if I don't fuel the situation or fuel the event by overthinking or throwing my tuppence worth in based on my fear or based on my trigger, that it will pass. And before, I would have never done that. I would have fed the fucking beast. Let's say if I got triggered by somebody, I would purely react to whatever that person said without taking stock of that this is a trigger. I would be living in a subconscious life. But now that I've become a little bit more present and understanding of my patterns, it's become a little easier to communicate and develop relationships, whether they be intimate relationships or family or professional, that you can notice these patterns. So what I'd ask you is have a look at them. Have a look for things that keep coming back up for you. Because our life is generally in patterns, and they just keep repeating ourselves till we learn from them. And fuck me, I have some patterns that I haven't learned from over my life, but it's getting better. So hopefully this will be of benefit to you, that I've sold my soul on Facebook or on Instagram for a few affirmational likes and like my posts. No, I just want to throw this out. I want to put content out that's of value, and people will get some learning from it. Or you might just think it's a pile of shite and think your man Matt Burke's fucking bananas. But sure, look, I'll keep rocking on anyway. Have a good Wednesday. Actually, before I throw this out, will probably be Thursday, because I threw one out today and I don't really overdo it. So happy Thursday if you're reading this, but I done it on a Wednesday. Peace. Bye bye.